Fatal Strike Productions presents the Zindarian Tomes of Power. Produced and written by Nathan Boston. Narrated by Steve Fortune. Performed by Sean Ferguson as Elland Young. Michael Garamoni as Aaron Lehman. Connor Bell as Dalton Anthroy. John Brattin as Richard Franklin. Todd Wilson as Titus Yon. Alexandra Stefanova as Hema Yon. And Thomas Rose as Tuscan. Episode 1. Catastrophe. Part 1. Elland and Dalton stood watch at their usual post, the tower situated on the coast of the fishing bay. There was a soft breeze and the stars were shining bright this night. Elland leaned over the rail, looking out at the water.
Another peaceful night, my friend. Dalton? Don't you think that sword is sharp enough?
Dalton met Elland's eyes. Although they were about the same height, 6 feet or so, Dalton's blonde hair and blue eyes contrasted greatly with Elland's jet black hair and brown eyes. Dalton came from a family of merchants, not extremely wealthy but close to the nobility. Dalton had joined the king's army to build a reputation. With that and his family's high contacts, it could put him en route to becoming a minor nobleman himself. But being stationed out here would make that difficult.
Well, what else do you suggest I do? I'm stuck in this tower for hours in the middle of the night, ensuring that fishing boats don't spring legs and run away. I should be at the tavern drinking enough mead to forget where I'm at.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad. And I can understand how you feel. I joined to travel and fight for the kingdom. Imagine how I felt when they put me back here.
Yes, well, at least you know the place. I, on the other hand, was raised in the courts. I knew joining wasn't going to be a pleasant experience, but I thought it would be sleeping in the dirt, training and fighting unpleasantness, not wrestling drunk, squabbling fishermen unpleasantness. I tell you, next time I'm just going to run them straight through.
Don't forget about wrestling the drunk homeless fish thieves' unpleasantness as well.
I cannot wait until my contract is fulfilled so I can finally leave this shithole. No offense.
None taken.
Dalton brought out a small flask and took a hard pull from it, then motioned it toward Elland.
No thanks.
Oh, come on. It'll help you through this dull night.
Not on duty.
Suit yourself?
Dalton shrugged his shoulders, took another pull from the flask, then pocketed it.
You know, once you fulfill your contract, you could easily get a bodyguard position for a nobleman in the city. It pays about 4 times what we make here.
I suppose, but it would probably be just as dull.
Yes, but... What was that?
I don't...
The violent shaking swept them up like leaves in the middle of a strong gale, tossing Elland to the ground. His knees cracked against the wood. Dalton slammed hard into the rail, letting out a winded grunt.
What in Baldur's name was that?
They climbed to their feet, Dalton rubbing the side of his head.
I'd say evidence points to an earthshake.
Well, of course, it's an earthshake. Where?
Look out!
Elland turned towards the bay as a dark wall of water slammed into them. The blast of icy water shocked him. He was blown out of the tower, disorientated as he tumbled head over heel in the water. His back slammed into the ground and knocked the breath from him. His lungs burned from the lack of air as he was pushed further inland. The waters abruptly stopped and started receding just as quickly, pulling him back in the opposite direction. He hit the ground a few more times as it started to shallow out. The wave slowed and lost its strength quickly. He planted his feet, pushed up, and his head broke the surface of the water. He stumbled around in the knee-high water and wiped his face to try and push away the dizziness. The glassy surface of the water went on for hundreds of feet around him. Most of the fishing buildings were blown away, and boats lay broken on the ground.
Dalton? Dalton? Dalton!
I'm here!
Your head, it's bleeding.
It's fine, I'll be alright. What the bloody hell is going on?
We need to go up to Knave's Mill, see how bad they were hit with the earthshake, and give what aid we can.
Shouldn't we go to the garrison first to see what the commander wants done?
Let's coming from town.
Elland started that way, but Dalton grabbed him by the arm.
Where are you going? We're soaking wet and unarmed. What little aid could we offer? We've got to get back to the garrison and get more help.
Elland looked down and saw that he was right. Their swords were nowhere to be found, and his wet chainmail weighed him down. All he had was a small dagger in his belt. An orange glow started to radiate from the town.
The town looks to be on fire. How does an earthshake cause fire? The screams.
Elland yanked his arm out of Dalton's grasp.
Something's happening. I just don't know what. But my parents are there. I've got to go.
All right then, go. I'll go to the garrison to get aid.
Wait, help me with this mail.
Got it.
Okay. See you soon, brother.
Be careful.
After running about a mile north, Elland made it to Knavesmill. This wasn't a large town, but it wasn't very small either. The town was a scattering of homes and shops on both sides of the main road. Since this was a main lumber export for the kingdom, the homes were made of wood. There were several fires still burning around the town, and smoke hung thick in the air. He ran up to the first house, peeked around the corner and down the road.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Mutilated and dismembered corpses were strewn across the streets and hanging like broken dolls out of the smouldering windows. Movement across the street caught his eye. He froze, gripping the corner of the house. In the shadows, he saw something the size of a small child, but the way it moved felt all wrong. It was fast and agile, like an animal. It darted out in the street, grabbed the legs of a corpse and dragged it in the shadows. Elland caught a glimpse of it in the firelight. It was dark green with thin limbs and pointy features. He pulled his dagger out of his belt with a shaking hand.
What in damnation is going on?
He backed away while the creature was distracted with its meal and made his way to the edge of the trees. He followed the tree line to the mill and his parents' house.
Thank God. The fires didn't reach it.
He approached the front door. He tried to open it, but it stopped, hitting something solid.
Mother? Father? Are you there? Hello?
Son, get in here. Shut the door.
His father, Titus, grabbed him by the arm and pulled him in, then closed the door. He was a little shorter than Elland, but much stockier, with a bald head and carrying his old spear.
Are you all right?
Yes. I'm good. And Mother?
She's fine. She's in the back room. Come on.
His mother, Hemmer, was sitting on the bed with her arms crossed. She was a foreigner to this part of the land, her dark skin and hair clearly showing her Ishkan heritage. Titus had met her while he was campaigning in the king's army, before he retired and started running the mill.
Elland! Oh, come here, you all right? Thank the heavens you're here. Oh, I thought everyone in town is...
Hemmer looked down. Fresh tears started to form around her bagged eyes. Ellen squeezed her hands.
I know. It's okay. We're going to be okay. Father, what happened?
After the earthshake, we went out to help anyone we could. Not long after, these green things attacked us. There were hundreds of them. I grabbed your mother, and we locked ourselves inside.
I saw one of those things on the road. It was eating a corpse.
Demons.
Ellen glanced at her. She had sat back down on the bed, still looking down with her arms crossed.
Well, if they're demons that can die.
He leaned the tip of his spear out, dried blood on the end to make his point.
That's good to know. We need to get to the garrison. It's...
Shit. We didn't bar the door back. Get next to me. When it comes to this doorway, I'll spear it. Then you go in and finish it off.
All right.
Steady. Ha! Ah! It's on the ground. Finish it quickly.
Hey, stop! It's me, Aaron!
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 Boy, I almost ran you through.
Aaron stood up, brushing himself off. He was taller than Elland by a full hand. He wasn't muscular or fat, just naturally big. Grey peppered his dark hair, even though he was still in his 20s. He joined the king's army when Elland did, but he joined as an engineer that worked on crossbows, catapults, and bridges.
I thought I'd find you all here.
It's good to see you, my friend. Do you know what's going on?
I have no idea. I saw creatures pour out of the North Woods and attack the town. I couldn't do anything about it. There were just too many. So I stayed in my tower until they moved on.
He seemed to have slumped at the admission, which was unusual for him. He was usually stoic at the decisions he made with logic.
I don't think any of us could have predicted this, let alone do anything about it. The only thing we can do is try to survive, and maybe try to figure out what's going on. I think we should go for the garrison.
I agree. I was going to head that way next.
I have some supplies packed already, Elland. Grab that pack, and let's get going. Come on, love. We need to move.
All right.
Hi, I'm Nathan Boston, creator of the Zindarian Tomes of Power. Thank you so much for listening to the show. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. If you want to support the channel more, you can click the link below to donate. That will help us produce more content faster for everyone to enjoy. Again, I want to thank you so much for listening to the show, and I hope to see you for the next one.
Fatal Strike Productions, copyright 2021, produced and written by Nathan Boston, all rights reserved. Performed by Steve Fortune, Sean Ferguson, Michael Garamoni, Connor Bell, John Grattin, Todd Wilson, Alexandra Stefanova, and Thomas Rose.